Welcome back to the Seeking Success Podcast, the number one virtual podcast in the world, powered by StockPick. Guys, if you didn't know already, StockPick is an investing app that you have to check out. If you want to watch more of me, more of Radies, that's where you find us giving our best stock picks, our best crypto picks, and our best investing principles. So make sure you download the app, first link in the description below. Today, we have a bunch of things we're going to talk about. We're going to go over some best success principles, a guest recap, some funny moments, and we're going to be talking about a very, very special launch we've been working on behind the scenes. Let's jump into it, bro.
Yeah, and I want to say, first off, thank you guys so much, everyone who's been supporting us, everyone who's been watching us on TikTok, Instagram, Shorts, Facebook. We're on Facebook too.
Yes, sir.
Also, everyone who's been listening on Spotify, Apple, everywhere. Thank you guys so much, because this is 1 month in, and we've done, if I'm not mistaken, what was it, 12 or 13 episodes in a month?
No, dude, this is episode 15 we're filming right now.
Oh, shit, so we're at 15 episodes. See, that's what I'm saying.
We're
like,
at 15
crazy.
episodes.
So we've been absolutely
guys,
grinding for you guys. In the first month, I just want to, like I said, thank you so much, guys. And yeah, we're going to go over some success principles. And I think we first need to start off with... Fuck. I started smiling. I found the freeze trick on you.
I was going to say, wait, let's get slowing down.
Damn it. Okay, but yeah, success principles, bro. So, man, like we talked to a bunch of people this month, and I think like we really understand that a lot of these people have the same success principles, and I guess like we'll just kind of bounce back and forth over some of these. And I think like one of the ones that we've seen come up a lot is, I'd say, consistency. And I think like like consistency is like, I don't think people understand how important consistency is, because it's one thing to be consistently doing the right things, and it's another thing to be consistently doing the things that are hard, which in return are the things that you're supposed to do that will get you to a place where you want to be. And it's insane. Like we're seeing people, whether they're athletes, musicians, entrepreneurs, comedians, everyone just talking about how you have to be consistent, right? And especially in today's day and age, like think about it, right? There are other podcasts out there, but there aren't that many podcasts that compete with us when it comes to how much content we put out. And I think that's another reason why we're doing as well as we're doing. I don't know if you want to touch on consistency or...
Yeah, I want to touch on consistency real quick, guys, because I'm going to put a picture on the screen right now and post Radies. You can just visualize this real quick. But it's like a picture of two guys, right? And he quits right before he hits the diamonds, right? Then the next guy who doesn't quit, he actually reaches diamonds. That's literally how consistency works. There's been so many times in my life where let's just use an example. One of the first business I ever started was drop shipping, right? I remember I made my first $3,000-$4,000, and it was like momentum just started to build, but that's when it got really hard, where it's fulfilling the orders, refunds, chargebacks, and the stress got the most of me. And I'm like, oh, maybe it's not for me. There's not that much money in it, and I quit. But imagine if I was to keep going, that could have been a big business. And there's so many things in your life, guys. You got to realize, if it was studying for a test, if it was you're out and you saw the beautiful girl that you didn't go talk to, consistency, and I guess hand in hand, and I guess this is the next thing we're going to be talking about, is the art of following through. Because that's super important. There's so many missed opportunities simply because we forget or we lacked to just follow through, right? So it's so important, man. Really, you want to jump into following through, bro.
And I guess following through is more so even just taking action, right? And I think a lot of people it's speed as well. Like you have to be quick with things. You have to just go for it. And we had I forgot who it was, but someone was saying whenever you're trying to learn how to do something, instead of thinking about how to do it and never actually get any feedback, it's all a feedback loop, right? And I think Sam Ovens is who I learned this from years ago in one of his courses, and he goes to say, if you don't know how to do something, you try, get the feedback and see what you did wrong, fix it, fine-tune it, do it again, and then you're going to know how to do it better. And you keep repeating that process until eventually it's perfection. I think a lot of people don't ever do that first step. It's analysis paralysis, right? You're thinking, okay, whether it's, for example, real estate or content, how do I do it? Then you start overthinking things, and it's you see a hot girl over there, oh, should I go talk to her? What should I say? As opposed to just going and talking to her. Even if you get rejected, you know what I mean? It doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think with following through, it's also just do it. Nike made that their slogan because it's true. You just do it. Just don't overthink it. And I know, Umar, you've been doing a bunch of things in the background. You're doing more than, bro. You're doing a lot of shit. Why don't you talk about how you manage all these things as well? And tell them what you do as well.
Yeah, guys. So right now, there's a bunch of things I do behind the scenes. I do, obviously, content creation. Right now, me and Radies have the deal where I'm doing all the editing for the podcast as well. So we got the podcast stuff, which just takes a bunch of my time. I do gaming. VR gaming. I create content around that, TikTok and all that. Super fire, very fun. Then what's it called? I do like consulting. And by consulting, I mean like consulting with other content creators, helping them create strategy and plans, develop and grow on social media platforms. Like, guys, it's super easy. You just have to do the steps, right? And we're going to talk about that later in the podcast. And there's also now what's it called? We're managing, me and my other friend, actively managing 2 really big YouTubers. So we're just managing, getting the money in, and just managing YouTubers. So there's so many things I do behind the scenes. And obviously working out. I'm also married, so I got to spend time with the wife. Right now, not in my studio because I'm spending time with my sister. I came to see my sister for the weekend. The reason why all this is possible, guys, is one, I did the hard work first. And what I mean by that is, once upon a time, back when me and Radies first had our first ounce of success, the crazy part was we were grinding 6 to 8 YouTube videos a day. And I was working a 9-to-5 job. So literally wake up 8 a.m. in the morning to go to work at 9, come back home 5:36, film videos from pretty much 7 to 2 a.m. And I guess we got lucky. The time zones were nice. We could post at any time the videos to get views. We'd be basically working all day, posting all night. Then me and Radies would literally chit chat for hours just to go to sleep a little bit. And I used to be an active joke. I got to sleep, rest, so I could see my sleep master in the morning. But that was the hard work that had to be done originally. And then now, looking back at it now, it's all worth it because now I don't have to work the 9 to 5. So it's almost like I unlocked 8 hours of my life. And then, just like a typical person, I remember what I eventually started doing is I quit my job, started doing less work at the job, but also started doing less work on YouTube. And we fell in this trap, and we talked about so many times before, the whole fall off. But then it was about 6 months ago I realized, shit needs to change. And I'm like, let me actually utilize all my hours. And boom, instantly the video games are gone. Like just a lot of like little stupid habits that you think aren't even stupid, like playing phone games, scrolling on TikTok, whatever. All these little habits just wiped away because it's so filled with work. At the time, it was just like posting my personal page, posting the gaming page, working out and creating some content around fitness. And that's a cool thing too. That's what I want to emphasize. Don't look at someone like me, or even forget me. Don't look at someone like KSI. Let's take KSI, for example, who KSI is doing the music, he's doing YouTube, he's doing Sidemen, he's doing Side Plus, he's doing Side Snacks, he's doing all these crazy things. Don't look at this person like, how do I start doing this today? Pick like one thing, master it. And by master, I mean like it's a habit now. You don't need to think about it. You pick that thing, then you add another thing, master that as well. Now you have 2 things in your day, then the 3rd thing, then the 4th thing, then the 5th thing, and it's almost like you have a perfect daily routine. Now every day I wake up and I just get shit done on its own. I do have a reminders app. I'm not gonna lie. I keep everything on my phone where it reminds me to do certain things. It's not necessarily in order. I kind of pick and choose a day, and that's another thing too. It makes your day so much fun, right? So the big takeaway from this is work extremely hard so you could get your time back. And then don't just fill your time in with fun and video games and traveling. That's fun for a little bit, but after a while, it also gets boring. And then just start working, and find joy in your work. Because now I have a very fun day. It's a hectic day. It's a fun day. And we're talking about progress. I don't want to pretend like I'm at the peak of my career. Far from it. The next point I'm trying to free up space is we're trying to produce more podcast content, get more sponsors, create more money from this podcast so I can buy back my hours for even the editing, right? It's a constant process, guys. You're going to know this. You buy back your time from your work, right? Now you don't need work. Then you're editing your videos. Now you don't need to edit your videos. Now, all the little things that we're doing is like, okay, how can I outsource this? How can I outsource that? And that's going to be the next step, right? If you read 4-Hour Workweek, I think the only principle that I really took away from the book, like, I wouldn't want to work a 4-hour workweek, but the best thing I took away from the book was just like the art of delegation. When you could pay someone $20 to cut your lawn, but in that time you cut your lawn, you can make $100. You're losing $80 cutting your lawn. So pay someone to do that, right? So how can you apply that to your life?
Yeah, no, I think like it's just one of those things where delegation, automations, and just like you said, buying back your time is just something that not a lot of people think about. Like people think you have to actually do the labor, do the hard work. And I mean, like even for myself for the podcast, like, dude, I just show up here every now and then, film, get some guests, you know, it's pretty good. Obviously, Umar's more hands-on, and like there's certain things where your time just might not be valuable doing certain tasks, or you don't have the resources to outsource certain things, which is fine. Like I said, like myself and Umar, when we were doing 6 to 8 YouTube videos a day, we were doing everything by ourselves. Scripting, research, editing, posting, thumbnail, everything from, I mean, I didn't even edit videos back then either, but everything was done like by ourselves. And that's the whole power of bootstrapping. And later on in this episode, we're going to tell you guys exactly how you can use these success principles and exactly how you could figure all this out in a very simple process. So guys, make sure you stick around for that. And I guess like not even just like the whole delegation part, but I guess it's like also understanding how to think differently as well. Because a lot of people, like you said, even including us, like we had a little fall off after we I guess, had that ounce of success, and then we went on like a downward spiral. And it's just like having that mindset to get it back. And again, I've told Umar this multiple times. If it wasn't for me seeing Umar get his shit back together, I would probably still be in that downward spiral, and I'd probably still be just doing stupid shit, wasting my time, whatever that may be. But luckily, I think this podcast especially helped me with, being on time. I have to be the best version of myself so I can, one, be a good host for the podcast, and two, be a good interviewer for the people that we're interviewing. Because if I'm just stupid or I'm a bum and I'm talking to some of these high level people, it's gonna be able, like, you guys are gonna be able to tell, and it's just not gonna be like, you can see through a lot of like the smoke and mirrors or whatever. I guess, like, let's talk about some of our guests, because we've had a couple insane guests, and we're gonna quickly not summarize them, but quickly just go over like our main takeaways, because there's a lot of people who we learned a lot from, a lot of people who we still have relationships with, a lot of people who are just super like cool people. So we're gonna go over it, and I guess we'll start off with number one.
Hold on, before we go into that, I do want to make I want to say something that Radies just said there that actually really impacted my life as well. Actually, I'm going to go on a quick tangent here real quick. A personal story real quick. So, more this is crazy. Right at the end of the bull market, me and Radies, we launched this crypto project where money was great. Me and my wife were traveling the world. So, at that time, I was still living at home, and I realized, I'm like, you know what, like, because we were the only reason we were living at home was we were traveling. We were never home. That was where our stuff was. So I told my wife, I'm like, let's get our own place. And we're looking in Toronto, and the rents were stupid, like basement apartments for $2-3 grand. We could afford it, but I'm always been a guy where my overhead's low, right? So I'm like, okay, let's move to Calgary. We just need a cheap place, keep our stuff there, and we'll travel the world. We moved to Calgary, and everything fell off, right? Career-wise, right? All my income sources are like either cut in half or literally gone overnight, which is horrible. And instead of this being like a launch pad where like we just have our stuff here and we're traveling the world, it just became our environment. And this is where the podcast is really important. Even before this podcast, I already started doing networking, which helped extremely. But this podcast kind of took it to the next level. Once you surround yourself with winners, your mind thinks completely different, right? Yeah. And that was a turning point for me because, again, I enjoy living in Calgary. Calgary's dope, right? But I will say this is a land of the free, and what I mean by that is just how back home in India we would want, like, our parents once came to Canada because like this was like the land of opportunity. That's how Calgary is almost in Canada, right? But for me to have an immigrant mindset to come down here to kind of have an easy start, I'm like, this is probably bad for my mental. And the reason I realized that is as like we're moving on to the guests we interviewed so far, guys, we've literally interviewed millionaires. Multi-millionaire guys who like just imagine what their tax bill is, let alone their income, right? So it's crazy, your environment. And once that happened, once I had that realization, I'm like, maybe it's time I actually move back home or move to an environment that's going to be even like more soul nurturing. So the whole point I'm trying to get around to this is, guys, your environment is key. You could think that, I'm top G, I'm going to go Calgary, I'm still going to do all my networking, I'm going to save my money, but you're surprised. It's so hard to learn new habits, it's very easy to learn bad habits, right? So if your friends all around you are poor, they're going to drag you down too, right? It's so hard for one rich guy to bring all the poor people up with him, which is way easier for you to learn the habits of the poor. So environment is super key. Then let's jump into our guest list, bro. Let's just go straight into from number one, bro.
Yeah, let's go. I guess number one, our first guest was James, and holy shit, guys. I remember James is just, if you guys haven't seen that episode, basically an insane fitness freak. This guy runs marathons like it's like taking a piss in the morning. That's how easy it is for him. And but I think the main thing I took away from him was the fact that like he had insane injuries, and he still somehow managed to defeat all the odds and run an Ironman, which is mind blowing. That's nuts.
Dude, this guy's the white David Goggins, bro. Like, not only the Iron Man, but like even he's injured. He recovered in 5 weeks after a crazy accident. But bro, the thing that always like it still fucks with me in my head is like he's like, 10 hours I was running, whatever. Enjoyed it 98% of the time. And I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, when I'm on the treadmill for 5 minutes, I want to cry. Like, what do you mean you enjoyed it 98% of the time, bro? You're fucking running and swimming and biking for like 10 hours, which is insane. And also, he not only was he injured 5 weeks before the Ironman, but I think he did the Ironman in like record time, not record time, but like very good time compared to the average.
Like around 10 hours, which is like, again,
which is
nuts, bro. Like even crazy. If you like for someone who went through that injury, whether the time is a part of it or not, like he just finished an Ironman, it's already nuts.
Yeah, that is already nuts. That is already nuts.
That's pretty good. And I guess
Holy
moving on, we
shit.
have Sai. Sai is the homie. Sai is the homie, and bro, one thing I think I learned from him is, like, his name holds a lot of weight. Because I was at a real estate investors event last week or something, and someone came up to me and was like, "Oh yeah, like I've seen your podcast with Sai," and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like now people recognize me for the podcast, which is crazy because Umar and I we've been recognized before for YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But for the podcast, that's new. And I think Sai is one of those people where like people, and you've also had people tell you that Sai said good things about us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like his name actually holds weight, and it's cool to see because he's like basically a local celebrity, I guess. Like everyone in I guess the GTA, and even within our circle, like I've talked to so many people, and they were like, "Yeah, like I know Sai." And it's like, "Whoa, what the hell? Like how many people know this guy?" So that was pretty cool. I think his brand holds a lot of weight. That's one thing I took away, like the importance of a brand.
Dude, not just that, but I think like if I was thinking the best thing that kind of stuck with me, what he said was what his mentor told him when he just started the whole slow organic approach. When he was saying it, I really didn't understand. I remember when I was editing it, that's when like it really hit my mind. I guess somebody's got to rewatch content for it to hit. But bro, what he said there is like so facts, bro. Because imagine, fam, me and you, for example, right? We weren't the only guys who did the crypto thing, but we pulled it off so neatly in a sense that like where guys started at the same time as us, they fell off. Even like you at the worst time, like the views are the highest, the money's are the highest.
You want to name anyone?
No, I don't want to name anyone, but they just stopped posting, right? And I think the reason for that was the whole slow organic, right? Me and Radies started from zero. We had no hype. Like we were doing content that no one was watching, filming in front of the camera for hours. People are doing outreach. People are messaging us. We're communicating. It was almost like we've, especially the niches we've been in, we've been so dope where we've been able to help people on such a personal level. Whether that was back when I was studying for real estate, someone's DM me, "Yo, how do I do course one? What's this?" Or like, I got my first investment property. Yo, what tips would you give for investing? Because usually with a couple thousand followers, you don't really get inbound messages, right? Nobody cares about you. But in the niches we've been in so far, it's been pretty cool. Like people are coming to us, right? So we're almost, I want to say we're media prepped. So it was like a slow organic growth. Then when like the fast growth came, we had the systems in place to handle the stress and whatever. And also I wanna actually give Radies a big shout out. I don't think I would have been able to pull it off my own because just like all these other guys fell off, me and Radies were literally leaning on each other. When I had bad days, he'd call me out. When he had bad days, I'd call him out. And it was always like a friendly competition where we're helping each other out. So it was so dope. So that's another thing. Maybe find a partner. But slow organic growth that Sai said, bro. Shout out to you, Sai. If you're watching this, bro, big ups, brother. That was fire.
I think the other thing too is during that whole period, bro, I was going through a crazy breakup, and I remember Umar was really my relationship advisor. I'd be telling him like, "Oh, this happened. What do we do? How do I get her back?" Blah blah. But yeah, no, it's having a partner, and like we talked about it, like your environment and just having that right circle is so important. And I guess let's talk about our next guest, who is one of our like more entertaining but also like very interesting episodes. Cameron, who is obviously your buddy. And
no, you skipped over Tanner, bro.
Oh yeah, I did skip over Tanner. You're right. My bad. We'll do Tanner. We'll do Tanner. Bro, Tanner's just a G, bro. Like Tanner's like, bro. There's nothing much I can say. I think one thing I took is he's humble. Like he actually hopped on our podcast when he didn't, I guess, really need to. He has a pretty big brand, and yeah, like he's just a dope guy. He just does as well. Like he's big on just doing it, getting it done.
Dude, Tanner's like again another takeaway man from Tanner. And it's crazy when we're thinking about the podcast guests. Low-key, Tanner and James, our two earliest podcasts have been the most personally impactful for me because when we did the podcast with James, I realized my life is a bit boring. And it's crazy that I'm saying that because like my life compared to most people I know is like fucking a 10, right? But when I compare to James, like James is just out there doing stupid shit and just for fun. I'm like, holy smokes, I want to implement some of that into my life. I want more spontaneity in my life. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But buddy Tanner, $50 million man, guys, that's generational wealth almost. Like, granted, he still hold that money. Like that's life changing money, man, which is insane. But it wasn't even the money. The one thing I really liked what he said was, and this is where again we just implementing things in your personal life. That's very important. Whether you're doing the podcast yourself or you're listening to podcasts, like implement the information you get. Okay. But what he said that stuck with me the most was, he's talking about when he just started off. His first mentor told him, no, don't sell your $28 or your personal training services at like a double-digit number. Sell it at a quadruple-digit number. Sell it for $1,000, $1,500, $1,600. And at that moment, again, it was like who you surround yourself with. In his mind, he couldn't fathom that much money. Who would pay this much money for training? But then when he did, and he was already trained in sales, when he started closing these guys, he's like, holy smokes, I just made my 1 month's rent from a couple of DMs. And that got me thinking, because he's like, the reason why he was doing it and it worked so well was he's like, I had no following. No one knew who I was. So I had to cold DM a bunch of people to make this money. And he just made it happen, right? Versus a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to blow up organically. I don't want to do any outreach. Like, no. He literally did the work. And then now he's reaping the rewards, right? He has the fame. He has the money. He has a Lamborghini, or he sold a Lamborghini. But he has all these great things because he put in the work. So, Tanner, you're a GOAT as well, bro. You're a freaking GOAT.
No, we should, at the end of the year, we should do like an awards show, like kind of like the Grammys, but like
like our favorite guests and stuff. Yeah, that'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty dope.
Okay, now we're going on to Cameron. The one thing I like about Cameron is, dude, the guy just doesn't give a fuck. I think I really like that about him. Like he just doesn't care. Like he'll do whatever he needs to do. He's very he's not like this. You can be outspoken in a good way or a bad way. He's outspoken in a good way. Like he'll just say what comes to mind, and it's like not like he's not saying stupid shit either. Like he's just very passionate about what he believes in. So I think I really like that about him.
Yeah, cool thing with Cameron is like if you didn't know him, he would come across as like crazy almost, right? Especially if you just watch his stories and stuff like, yo, why this guy always outside, right? But the more you talk to him, I mean, I've known him for years, but I'm just talking looking at outsider looking in. Like the more you talk to him, guy's pretty insightful. And another thing too is like this guy like knows a lot of people too. It's super dope. It shows the power of networking. Your network is your net worth. So Cameron, super dope guy, bro. High school buddy of mine.
Yes, sir. And next up, bro, we got this guy's I think crazier than Cameron. I didn't think we can get crazier than Cameron. We got crazier than Cameron. We got Orlando King, who
Orlando.
We filmed a second episode with Orlando that is going to be available. You guys are going to find out how to get that towards the end of the episode, but there is a second episode coming, not publicly, but privately, so stay tuned for that. But Orlando, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know what to say about this guy.
Bro, Orlando is crazy, fam. Orlando is crazy, but in a good way. He's very outspoken, does not give a F, and he's also very aware of what the hell's going on in everything. I don't know how, but this guy seems like he studies everything. Like, what's recently happening with like the whole Turkey crisis, Iraq, and all these places that got attacked with the earthquakes. Like, bro, if I'm not mistaken, him and his team like fundraised like $120,000-$150,000.
Yeah, I've seen that. So big ups to him.
Some crazy amount. So like they're on the ground, they're on the floor,
bro. Like it's good. It's cool to see him like do something like that because there's so many influencers. Like imagine if like fucking Drake did that, bro. Like that'd be insane. Or imagine like someone who's super like A-list did that, or even B-list, C-list, right? So it's cool to see him do that. And I think another thing is he's very knowledgeable on history and a certain story. He's very good at storytelling, and he's also like you and I talked about. Like he's very good with his words. Like he knows how to talk properly. Very similar to like Bet David, like who's really understands how to speak. They both speak very well. So it's something I can say for sure.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, he's our most followed guest with just under 40,000 followers to 1 million. I think he's the first guy with 1 million, or the only guy with 1 million followers. I think I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure he's like the most followed guest we had so far.
Oh shit! Okay, so he has that belt right now.
He has that badge, bro.
Yeah. The next one is Vinin. Vinin winning the artist. This is the first artist we ever got. I believe also the only artist.
Only artist
as well. We definitely want to get more artists on. With Vinin, I learned like, bro, like there's a lot of money to be made in the music industry. Like it's actually insane. And if you guys have to go watch that video. No one's gonna ever find out unless Vinin publicly says it, but. There is a lot of money to be made, and I think it's cool to see that there are certain industries that just aren't talked about like that. There's so many opportunities out there that no one just knows about. So I think that's my biggest takeaway from Vinin, bro. And shout out to Vinin, man. The kid's young too.
Not just that. Vinin shows how your resourcefulness pays off, because it was something about like Factor Canada, music scholarships and stuff, that he's basically 17, 18 years old getting premium music videos filmed for free just because he's resourceful, right? And like, bro, I just noticed it's a community, like it's like I don't know what it is, but like it's like the kids that are like a bit smarter and they could like leverage, like, because leverage is super important, right? Like if you could leverage other people, like matter of fact, you can do big things. So big ups to Vinin.
The next one is another good friend of ours, Luke. Bro, I don't even have to say much about Luke, man. Like super cool guy. I was at his event last week. He killed it as well. And one thing I hate about this guy though, low key, because I don't know if you watch this or not. One thing I hate about this kid, bro, he separates his business and his actual like personal life on two different IG accounts. I think that's, as a content creator, I think that's crazy. I'm sure he has his reasons for it, but yeah, I just want to say that. But no, he's a super cool guy, man. I really like him. Like I said, he was one of my friends, or yeah, he's my friend in high school, and still is like a pretty good friend of mine. And he just another one of those guys that just young guys hustle, does it. I think he shares a lot of the similar principles to both of us when it comes to success and hard work.
Yes,
money, all that stuff. So yeah,
bro, Luke's a goat, man. Cause like from like my personal network, right? Even though I can't really say Luke's my personal network, I haven't met him personally that much. But just like someone like, you know, like not counting a guest or not counting like a friend of a friend, he's probably the youngest guy I know that's like, actually crushing it, like in real life. You know what I mean? Because he's your age, right?
yeah, he's my age.
Because other than him, I don't know anybody like in like at least in like the GTA that we know personally, that's his age or younger, that's fucking crushing it.
I'm sure there's someone out there. I don't know, but yeah,
I'm sure there's someone out there. But on top of my mind, like
Yeah.
he's like the only. Because again, what I mean too is like it's different when you meet someone who's been crushing the whole time. But Luke was in the trenches with us. Like it's funny because like it's so weird how the time I met Radies, like we're all broke, bro. Radies is broke. I'm broke. You know, we kind of see Luke. Luke's broke. Luke has no deals yet. And then like to see like it's so funny how we all ended up going different avenues. And me and Radies kind of stayed close, but Buddy's crushing it right now. And big ups to him. And the reason I'm saying this is it goes back to just consistency, right? Where he saw real estate as an opportunity, he found a mentor, and he did all the hard stuff. He did everything, the network and everything perfectly, and he made it happen. He's crushing the industry, right? And again, another cool thing that he really emphasized was your network is your net worth. This guy's a part of some private Toronto clubs. Like this guy's crushing it, bro. So big ups to Luke. Luke, if you're watching, fuck, like, good shit, bro. Good shit.
And I think one thing that you kind of glazed over is the fact that he worked for free, and he's one of the people who really made the most of working for free. So I respect that a lot because we talk about that so often on the podcast, and you don't see that many people that do it, but the people that do it end up going very, very far and do very well. So yeah, big shout out to him.
Big time.
Next up, again, someone close in our network is Mo Rafi, the credit guru. Yeah, bro, this guy's a beast, bro. I remember when I first met him, I guess some backstory, I don't know if we talked about it, but I was like, yo, he was the first, like, I caught this guy early as fuck. Like, I was one of the first people to actually, like, put this guy into, like, just out there, because he had no social media presence. Like, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And I was like, yo, bro, you're the only guy I know in Canada doing this properly. Let's link up. Boom, we linked up a couple times. He became my credit coach. I became his social media coach. So we both were kind of consulting for each other, doing some content together. And bro, like this guy's just a beast, man. Like some of the stuff he does, like all the wisdom, a lot of, I'd say, yeah, like probably 80% of the credit things that I know and I now teach comes from Rafi. So yeah, he's just like, it speaks for itself, man. Like, he's just a legend. And another person who just works fucking hard.
Bro, Rafi, man. First thing comes to my mind thinking Rafi is, if you want to be poor, follow Dave Ramsey's advice. Only use a debit card. Throw your credit cards away. If you want to be poor, if you want to be rich, learn how to leverage credit. Rafi's a goat, bro. That was so funny. I also want to give Rafi a badge too, bro. I guess I'm the badge giver. Rafi is our low-key best performing on short-form clips across the board. Meaning, like, his clips.
Would it not be
Deluxe?
Deluxe?
No, because it was just
Because that's, I think it is Deluxe.
Deluxe is hit or miss. Some of them are doing good, some of them are not. But like, bro, low key Rafi's like
just on my stuff.
We're talking about total views, or we're talking about just like.
If we're talking total views, Deluxe wins, bro. Bro, he had 30K.
Sorry, Rafi, no badge for you, bro.
yo, Rafi does get a badge. He has the most credit badge. We'll give him that badge.
Yeah. Rafi gets the most credit badge. His YouTube shorts are performing pretty solid, man.
On YouTube, he has the badge. He's the most viewed YouTube.
Okay, most you viewed YouTube guest. All right, we give him that badge. We gotta give him a badge, bro. We'll get Rafi on again. Rafi, you're coming on again, bro.
Rafi on again. And I think actually we do have exclusive content with Rafi coming up soon. So yeah, stay tuned again.
Sweet.
We'll talk about that. The next episode is Josh Ryan. Bro, this guy just went ghost. I don't know what happened to this guy. Honestly, I don't have much to say. Like he knows what he's doing. Very knowledgeable. He picked one thing and he's the expert at it. He teaches it. I mean, now again, I don't know where he's at. His IGs have been deactivated.
Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken, bro, I know some people do this. I feel like he's just taking a social media break, and he will be back. But from his knowledge, this guy probably arguably like very honestly, I'd say he's very knowledgeable, at least in the IG space, more than us. I'd actually say. I didn't want to say it, but fuck, like this guy, like he knows. And like the cool thing is, not only is he like really knowledgeable in the space, but like he's worked alongside Gary Vee. He's worked literally with Russell Brunson, like for Russell Brunson too, which is insane, right? Yeah. Like this guy is so weird because Josh, he's a kind of guy that like he came across on the podcast, like very reserved, very quiet. But like the more he talks, like, oh, this guy knows so much. He knows so much about things. Like he knows so many people. A very cool guy. Again, it shows you, guys, a reoccurring kind of theme here is like the guys who work hard, the guys who stay consistent, and the guys who have solid networks. Those guys are guys crushing it, right? And Buddy's doing all three.
And if I'm not mistaken, Josh gets a badge as well for the least viewed episode.
Oh my god, is that actually the least viewed episode?
Yeah, Josh, man, fuck. But again, I don't blame him. It's because he wasn't able to talk about it or anything because he's just been, Lord knows where he's been. I hope he's okay. But
yeah, well, guys, if you're watching this video right now and you want to learn about growing on Instagram, that's like the number one video for like if you want to grow on social. Even you can apply these principles to TikTok. I even learned some things after doing podcasts with him. If you want to grow your social media stuff, go watch or listen to it on Spotify. It's worth it. The guy was spitting game. So let's run that up. Let's take that badge away from Josh. But for now, Josh, sorry, you get the least viewed badge,
bro. Hate to be that guy.
Right.
But, yo, next up, bro. I think this is
top T.
I think this is my favorite episode, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is my favorite episode.
Top
of the
T.
month. We got Gundamama or Deluxe, and bro, this guy is so funny, man.
This guy's hilarious, bro.
He has a couple badges. Okay, I think he has one most views on all platforms, and I think two, he probably has the funniest episode badge. I think we gotta give him that badge too.
Bro, it's definitely the funniest episode, bro. The guy's clips are crushing on TikTok, fam. Holy. Yeah. And he's the second most video views on YouTube for the actual total podcast. Guy's like hilarious. Is it third?
Yeah, we have Vin and Delman.
Oh, he's third.
Vin,
okay.
we have issues with you. We'll leave that for off camera.
We'll dress up for another day.
Yeah, another day. Yeah, but Deluxe, bro, this guy is, I think, like, his episode was one that I got the most feedback from. Like, I had people saying, "Oh, yeah, like this was hilarious." Like people just telling me, like, "Yeah, it was good, it was funny." I think, yeah, like that was, bro. Like, he's just a funny guy, man. And, like his charisma, like, it's so like I feel like even if we weren't in like a laughy, goofy mood, he definitely would have put us in that type of mood very quickly just through his personality. Sure. So, big shout out to Deluxe. Yeah. Go.
Great. And Matt, I want to say something. And I guess this is something if you want to be in community or even the art space is Deluxe is amazing at storytelling. For example, like it's so weird. Like when he's telling us a story of like when he first time a fan met him at the movie theater, bro. Like the way he was saying it, fam, I literally it was like fuck. I could see it in my head, bro. I'm sure it wasn't that, but like the way he's good at telling stories, man. Like literally, like us following along mentally, very good. And even like at the Tamil Fest when the guy's eating his food and he has to stop eating, like he was so good at fucking storytelling, bro. Like oh my god, that's another thing too, guys. A lot of times when you watch these podcasts, you could learn things that we're not directly talking about. Like the storytelling aspect, communication. I want to actually, we missed this, but even Luke, for example, shout out to Luke. Luke was very like quick with his responses where like, he was probably the only guest where we asked him a question and like, it was like within a minute, the answer's done, concise, but not missing something or not saying too much, right? Because we've been picking up on these things the more we do these podcasts. But Deluxe, amazing storyteller, bro. Like this guy is going to go on to do amazing things. Even the conversation we had off camera, like, holy smokes, his EP is dropping like in 2-3 days. Guys doing music, comedy, behind a lot of stuff behind the scenes. Like, Top T is crushing it, bro. Top T is crushing it, bro.
And yo, next up, I think this is probably going to be our most viewed one. I think he gets a badge for most like stoic. I think I don't know if it's him or Orlando, but I think it's him. We have Dawa Man or I was going to say Imran Khan.
Imran Ibn Mansur.
Yeah,
Imran Ibn Mansur. Holy.
Bro, this guy, I think he has a badge for the longest episode. And we had to trim off a lot of stuff, bro. This episode was
2.5 hours.
Wow, like after this episode, bro, like I remember because what we do is after every episode, Umar and I, we hop on call, we talk shit about the guests real quick. We just kind of like do like a debrief basically, right? And like we were both like, wow, that was insane. And whether you're religious or not, that's still an insane episode.
that was a cool thing too, because like this is obviously not a religious podcast. We're not here, like I follow the religious Islam, but like Radies doesn't, and like there's like no side agenda here, right? But it was so cool, and we told him that before the podcast, and he's more known in the Islamic world. But it's so cool, like he was still doing his thing, relating it back to religion, which is awesome, good for him. But like he just had regular business philosophies and principles. He wasn't being like the cliche, like, oh, God gave it all to me. The only book I read is the Quran. No, he actually gave some book recommendations he read. He talked about mentors and stuff. So it wasn't like wishy-washy, oh, I prayed and the money happened and my businesses grew. Like he's actually a practical person as well, which is nice to see, because this is one thing I hate, man. Whether you're a vegan, you're a religious person, or you're like a meditator, I hate when someone goes too extreme into something where like everything is a vegan, everything's religion, everything's meditation. Like, you need to have that balance and take the good and bad from everything. And like that was him in a nutshell, right? He had the extreme where he went from the music industry to now he's an Islamic preacher. And guys, for me personally, I don't know if you noticed in the actual podcast, but I was fanboying because Dawah Man was like, I've been taking his courses since I was like 14 years old. I've been following him. I probably watch all of his YouTube videos. That was probably like I probably look up to 10 people that are alive right now, and like he was one of the 10. So like at the end of the day, it might have not got the most views, but that was like a dream episode for me. So I guess
I mean, for me, it is gonna get the most views.
It's crazy.
It's
yeah. So
and I think like it's just cool to see, because even I guess Dawah Man also said this, and I mean even you, like we've been practicing this since day one, bro. Investing in yourself and just getting the right information, getting the right mentors, getting the right people out there who will help you do certain things. And I think it's cool to see because like you said, we're not a religious podcast, but it's nice to have like I guess that difference in the sense that like I'll ask him a question and I'll push back again, not to argue or be a dick, but I'll really just push back and be like, yeah, okay, how about in a non-religious way? How would you answer that? And it's cool to see because everyone has their beliefs, but at the end of the day, so far we haven't had any crazy instances where it's like a belief, like a person who's super strong in their beliefs just sticks with it and doesn't fucking, like it's cool to see no one's stuck up. And we kind of had like two, I guess, like Islamic influencers back to back. The second one being who's Mufasa or Mustafa?
Mufasa.
It's Mufasa. Okay, so Abdul, or
Abdul.
Who, guys? But this is he our youngest guest, or is it Vinin? One of the two.
One of the two.
Yeah. So
they might be the same age, low key.
Yeah, I was gonna say we gotta get some birthdays.
I think they're the same age. Yeah, we gotta get the date of births. Yeah, I guess get a badge. You can share with Vinin, bro.
Yeah, you guys get half a badge each. But no, these guys, or they're like they're like the graduating class. They're in that class. The graduating class.
The graduating class.
I guess one thing that's cool about Abdul or Abdullah is he's just super chill, man. Like he's one of those guys that like you like you know that guy that just like everyone's just like he's chill. Like he's just one of those like super chill guys. Very laid back, cool, calm, collected, and he's very intelligent too.
That's the crazy part. The kid's smart, and here's the part. Like we call him a kid now, but in the moment, because we didn't ask him his age until the very last minute of the podcast.
Yeah,
I would have never guessed he was that young. Well, no disrespect to Vinin. Vinin's super cool, but Vinin came across as a 19-year-old, 18-year-old. The way he talked, the way he answered, everything about him was like you could tell he's a kid. He's young. But Abdul, and again, it could be a thing because we're from Toronto and Vinin's from Toronto, and Abdul's from Florida, so maybe Florida the kids are more mature there.
I mean, the other thing is I do literally know Vinin. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But no, bro, this kid was like mature.
Yeah.
God. But holy, and smart, very woke. But again, we go back to that thing. Like he didn't have an extreme either. He's actually very in the middle. He makes the most similar content to Orlando, and where Orlando is like all the way goes to one direction. Like he stops like in the middle without getting to the point where we're gonna start calling him crazy. Orlando, you're crazy, bro.
Yeah, bro. And I think like our last episode of the month was Tay, which is the OnlyFans manager guy. This episode came out 2 days ago. Bro, this episode was fire, man. I think one thing I took away from him is like make money with everything. Like whether you're doing this and you have to outsource this, or you have to connect these guys, make money from it. You have to do this, boom, find a way to make money from it. Like make money from anything. Yeah. And I think that's one of the main things I took away. And also just like giving away shit for free is just valuable. And just do things where people like the faster you can help someone, the faster they'll be willing to pay you or whatever that may be. Yeah. So that was one of the main takeaways.
Yeah, bro, this guy is actually really cool. This guy's actually hilarious too. You got to watch that podcast to hear the crazy story, because there's a crazy story in there. Yeah. God damn, guy's a funny guy, cool guy. He spent some decent time with us after the podcast too. We're just talking business and stuff. Mm-hmm. The cool thing with Tay is I would recommend you follow him now. and try to connect with Tay now because Tay's probably the only low key millionaire that we've interviewed. Like
Yeah,
he's like
right.
it's crazy because he is like he's making 7 figures a year, very low social media presence, but I think that's
Yeah.
about to change. I think he's about to crush it, and like I wouldn't be surprised by if we by next month the guy's hitting crazy follower counts because like bro, what he's doing is insane, and the value he's
Hmm.
providing, everything about him, he's very competitive too. It's funny, you gotta watch the podcast to see this, but he said I don't know if it was on Pod or Odd Pod, but he's like basically like, yo, I had like 10 videos ready. Then I saw one of Radies' videos, and I'm like,
Yeah.
he's like, no, 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 I'm making my videos better because
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
didn't want to like lag behind, right? And like that's something to take note of. Like these actionable people, bro, they're ready to take note of things and make a difference, right? Like if Radies is making a sick video, I'm not gonna make the same shit video no more, right? If Radies is using dynamic captions, I'm not gonna not put captions, right? So taking things, even if it's not, at that point he wasn't our friend. He hasn't even come on the podcast yet. He just only briefly saw his shit and he deleted all that. So imagine if you did
Yeah.
that with everyone you bumped into, how much better of a person they'd be. So Tay, low key genius, bro, low key.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like a lot of the lessons I took away, guys, were like stuff that like the person didn't even talk about. Like,
Yeah.
let's go back to Lux, right? To Lux, like the biggest thing I took away, like a lesson I learned was like, yo, how can I become better at telling stories? Because that was crazy. Again, nothing to do with the podcast, right? With Tay, for example, is like learning from other people and taking into your own life. Like you notice, like you have to be like deeply observe and watch and understand. So even if you watch these episodes, guys, go back and watch them again because there's a value in every single one of these episodes. Every guest we had so far is phenomenal. But I guess, man, if we got cherry pick, I guess Rudy already said his favorite was Deluxe. I'm gonna go with
Yeah.
Dawoman just because childhood hero. But man, it's crazy that this is just month one. This is month one. But yeah, we get a bunch of badges. We had like some famous people, some people that are on the come up. Everyone had great stories. Some millionaires, some come up as well. We learned a lot, and I guess we're talking about learning, man. Should we go straight into the big announcement?
Boom. Introducing Seeking Success University. Guys, Umar and I, yes, yes.
All right,
Umar
all
and
right, all
I,
right.
Umar and I have been working very, very freaking hard the past month to the point where, bro, like I'll be like sometimes I'll be talking to this guy, I'll be like, bro, I don't want to fucking talk to you anymore for the rest of the day. We'll talk tomorrow. We've been ripping our hair out, figuring certain things out, and we are introducing Seeking Success University, which is going to be a one-stop shop where you guys can learn everything from A to Z on how you can be successful. We're going over everything. You're getting access to so many courses. You're getting access to so much information to the point where if you still somehow do not become successful, you're an idiot. I don't know how else to put it. Like, we're making it so easy for anyone and everyone to come into our program. And guys, when I say program, this is cheaper than a TV subscription. This is cheaper than getting a coffee a day. We are literally giving back to you guys, and we are launching Seeking Success University. There will be links down below. You guys can go check it out. Very high level. We just want to quickly talk about it because it's something that we're so proud of, and it's like our little baby.
Yeah,
I guess
for real.
included, and then give a quick like tidbit, and then Umar has some stuff in there too. So first off, I have the first ever course I made, which is for real estate agents. So if you want to grow on Instagram, cool. There you go. Now the second course is the actual Seeking Success course. Now guys, there is like all the mindset content you need, productivity, networking, every success principle that we talked about is all laid in there. Worksheets, we have visuals, all videos. I think we have a couple hours worth of video content there for you to consume, take notes of. There's homework in there. There's a lot of stuff for you to do, all for a tiny, tiny price. And that is all in there.
Yeah.
The third thing as well is my whole stocks and crypto course. Guys, you know how insane that is? You will literally learn how to invest in the stock market, how to invest in crypto, how I have a insane portfolio. At the peak of the last bull market, my portfolio was multiple six figures at the age of, 21 or 20? And that did not just come by luck. A lot of it was the bull market, yes, but it was very strategic. There are certain projects or stocks that I've done 1,000% ROI on, which is insane. That's unheard of in the stock market. So everything is there. Remember, success principles. You have the whole stocks and crypto course. I'm also doing a credit course for Canadian. So if you're a Canadian and you want to literally get $10,000 to $100,000 worth of approvals overnight, just like that, I will teach you exactly how to do that. So you can literally come in, join the Seeking Success University, and overnight get an insane return on your investment of $25. Like, guys, we're giving you all of this for $25, and Umar also has stuff. Umar, let us know, man. What do you bring to the university?
Dude, and before I jump in, I want to say about the price, guys. It's $25 now. Depending on when you watch this, that might not be the price. This is a founder price, right? It might go up. I doubt we'd make it go down, but that's a founder price. I just want to make that clear. So let's talk about the university real quick. I don't want to interrupt Radies, but I want to give you guys a backstory, okay?
Yeah.
A month and a half ago, like I told you guys before, one of the things I've been working on actively is consulting for content creators. So a month and a half ago, I decided, I got to a point where it's only so many clients you could help in person. At a point where like, yo, I should just make a content series, right? The only issue with putting out on YouTube, guys, I put on so many videos on YouTube in the past before, they get no views, no impact. YouTube just doesn't share it, right? All right, fine. I'll take matters into my own hand. I'll create a course. We're talking about prices. I talked about Radies. I talked about some of my other high six-figure earning friends who are in the course space and like, yo, Umar, if you're gonna sell this course, if you're really promising the results you said you could provide, this is easily something you can sell for $1,600, $1,700. And my mind was dead set at that $1,600, $1,700 price. However, from that point to now, me and Radies started the podcast. It's been very fun, guys, and the response I've been getting from the listeners is crazy. I'm sure Radies is getting DMs too, but people are DMing us. They're showing us love. They want to learn more, and I'm like, okay, how can we do something that's going to not only impact us and help us financially, but also help the community? And guys, I'm not going to lie. $25 price, guys, we're making literally nothing. Everything's reinvested back into marketing, back-end expenses, hosting platforms, you name it. We're making nothing. But we're giving
two of these.
We're not even making two of those. We're making zilch, right? And it's really to provide value. Guys, I can promise you in this course, you go through my course content and you literally apply everything that I said in that content. You actually do it. It's impossible for you not to grow and scale and start making money on social media, right? The whole emphasis of this course too, as you're going to notice, it's not emphasized on like how to get followers, how to get likes. No. It's get straight to the money. That's the emphasis, right? I don't have a massive following. Some of my niches do, but I made money on every single account. And it's an easy way you can do it. And all the secrets are there. Not only that, but again, depending on the time you're watching this, I might even be doing a thing where 10 people will be getting free coaching alongside the programming. It's like free value, guys. Not only are you getting a service that I charge crazy amount of money for, but you're going to get free coaching alongside with it too. So follow me on my Instagram for that. Link in the description below. And then that's, again, we're dropping Saturday, tomorrow. So if you're watching this, the day it's posted. Tomorrow. The value's going to be insane. And also, not only, this is the crazy part, right? Radies has launched his premium course this year, right? Which is the credit course. That's the course he actively worked on this year. He's also unloading courses that were no longer available. They were taken off the platforms. He decided not to sell them anymore. So he's reviving a bunch of old courses. And whether you want to just learn Radies' credit stuff or you want to learn my social media stuff, you get 5 courses for the price of less, I guess these days cheaper than Netflix. Yeah. Holy smokes. And in Radies' Seeking Success course, the mindset course, there's some big multi-millionaire features on there. I feature on there. There's some big collaborations, right? And not just that. The cherry on top, we keep adding cherries on cherries on cherries, is it's not any of 5 courses, guys. Yeah. We already are in the talk with like 2 massive influencers to come on space as well. Are they previous guests of ours?
Maybe not. But, and guys, like we want to really talk about that. Like we're going to continue to add stuff to our courses. Even the Seeking Success course, there's still going to be additions. We're going to have exclusive content. Like for example, I mentioned already, we have an exclusive podcast episode just for our Seeking Success University members. If you guys want to get access, like I said, go to seekingsuccessuniversity.com, or the link will be down below. We're also going to have certain podcast episodes have certain content for just the university. So guys, if you want to learn more, if you're actually serious about becoming successful and you want to learn from us, want to learn from people who we surround ourselves with, this is the place to go to. Now, we don't want to sit here and just talk about this forever because honestly, guys, like the results speak for themselves. You guys can just go to the website, go check it out. But other than that, man, I think this 1 month has been very, very cool, very eye-opening. Lots of progress has been made. And I think this is the start of something insane. We'll see who else we get on the podcast for month 2. Because I think we already have some pretty insane guests lined up. Like, we're going to have to do, like, crazy, like... At the end of the year, man, we're going to have to do some crazy, like, fucking... I don't know, like, 10-hour, like, fucking... I don't know, something. Something insane.
Breakdown, something crazy.
Yeah. Other than that, man, any closing thoughts or anything?
No, man. It's just crazy to think that we literally started this a month ago. We're already at 15 episodes. But if we just continue on the momentum we're on, we're going to end the year with a minimum of 150 episodes, which is insane. So you can learn from like almost 150 millionaires. So you got to subscribe. Yeah. You got to join the uni. You gotta do all the things, bro. And here's the cool thing too. If I'm not mistaken, if you enter the lower price, the $25 price, they're gonna be grandfathered in, right? So when the price does raise, it won't raise for them.
Yeah, like they're good. They're in.
You're locked in. So if you're watching this at the time it's posted, you might want to lock in that solid price, guys, because the price is only going to go up, especially as we get more bigger people on. And that pretty much wraps this on up. So if you enjoy watching content like this, guys, do all the things, like it, comment, leave a review. If you haven't already, go download StockPick, guys. If you want more content from me and Radies, especially investing theme contests, if you're big on investing in the stock market or crypto, that's the app you want to be on. So check that out. First link in the description below. Until next time, it's your boy Umar. Stay safe and success.
Take it easy, guys. Peace.